Anyway. Fairy, whoever's gonna entity, whatever connects with me, just so you know, there will be an audience. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I got questions. I got free time. I got like an hour at least. Okay. What do I got? I got a fairy? Do I have a fairy? That true? Oh, I do not have a fairy. What do I got? A demon. Is that true? Is that true? Are you lying to me? I know. You're something else, which means you probably you are you umbrella fairy? Are you a dragon? Is that true? Are you lying to me? Great. So you are a fairy. You're probably, what type of season are you? Oh, Jesus. What type of season are you? All right, I'm going to try this. Are you a gnome? Nymph? Nymph? Is that true? Are you lying to me? Are you gnome? That true? Are you lying to me? Then I don't even know what you are. I don't like this. I want to ask things, but I can't even be sure. Like, you're kind of fucking around and like being a silly goose. And I want to ask things. First of all, I want to connect with my cat. I gotta ask questions about my cat. So, let me sing to clarify yourself, okay? Because you're being a little extra. So I'm gonna sing so you can't lie as much, because I'm gonna sing, and then you can't be as much of a little bitch. What about that? If I keep singing, now you can't even lie as much. Whoa, how about that? How about that? Okay, is that better? Are you ready to be telling me truths? Are you done lying? Are you done lying? Is that true? You're lying. Look at you lying. Please stop lying. I have questions. Okay. If that's the case, I might like stop being with this fairy. I could kick you out. Just so you know. You know about that? I like being silly because I'm wasting my time, but you like, here's the thing. You have to, with you fairy, you know, you have to tell me, like, give me truths, like, at least 80%, okay? I want 80% honest truths, okay? Give me 80%. I only want 80% of truths. You got it? Is that true? Better. Great. Let's get to it. Let's start with my cat. Okay. I think he's pretty happy right now, would you say? So, we've addressed everything, right? I didn't realize that, I didn't know, I'm actually still feeling bad that I gave him clover. I actually feel kind of bad about that. Like, I already knew that cats have their sensitivity of everything and they don't have a good liver or kidney, and I feel bad about that. So just tell him I'm still feeling bad about that. I feel bad. So can you fix that and just tell him that, like, you know what, I'm still feeling a little guilty. Thanks. So is there anything he wants to tell me right now? That's what I'm feeling. So you're telling the truth? That's what I'm feeling. Yeah, he's giving me nice cuddles. He comes into my bed, finally cuddling me, and we really dealt with that. But I will come to the fairies when I need to deal with it. Is that why my cat doesn't meow very much? Because I mostly actually pay attention to his. For the vast majority, I try and focus on the things that he wants and needs instead of, like, he doesn't have to meow at anything. I'm like, for the most of the time, I'm trying to figure out if he does meow, I do get worried. I'm like, okay, I'll go to the fairy because I want to know what he means. I don't know cat language yet because his are very more complex than maybe all cats are complex, but I don't know the language and I don't know how to get there. Maybe I could, with shrooms and dream work, but I don't know how to do that yet. What are we at anyway? Manageable. So, am I like, okay, so cat is good. My plants are really needing me to water that bitch. So I'm gonna get to that probably towards the evening. It's gonna suffer right now, and then I'm gonna deal with it. I'm figuring out what my options are. Anyway, so I think I know what I'm doing. But I'm just gonna water them like probably today, and then tomorrow I might do more stuff. And then I want to know about thank you for the 80%. I'm feeling okay, are you noticing this? Like, okay, my burnout is confusing me. I felt that I wasn't as burnt out when I was literally speaking. Like, for people would like listen. That's sad. I don't know how to deal with that. Uh, and I'm like, I'm stressing out. Like, do you know? Okay, am I getting a phone call sometime this week for that job that I'm going to work there? Do you know what day of the week? Can you point to the day of the week? Is that Friday? They text me on Friday? Oh, okay. I'm still nervous about even getting the job. Just, did you know that? I'm like, um, it's stressing me out. Is it going to be lighter than I think it's going to be? That true? Okay. Is that a good 4 months, and then I will get more like the YouTube ain't gonna work for a fucking while, would you say? And so it's a good waiting time to actually make sure that I can actually support it. Is the burnout I don't know. I'm thinking. Are my onions surviving? That's out in the garden. Is that true? Okay. Will my radishes be ready to pull out like within any time? Really? It says it's like within 30 days. And like, um, so I just pull some of those out. Does it really only, with no seed, with just regenerative, it takes like a month? That true? I get radishes all the time? Okay. Buy my own radishes. Like 2 different sets of radishes every month. At this point, I like the radishes just pickled radish. And you swear to God that I want to do the vinegar. I'm just not ready for it. I guess I'll wait on the straw vinegar because now I have so much vinegar because I want that. That was a good idea though, right? Because I was thinking about that type of vinegar gallon bottle. It'd be good for me to do it as the watering can. What do you think of that? Did somebody give me a good idea? Okay, well, thank you, Fairy, for that one. Yeah, because I was like, you know what? I can't. It's so expensive for no reason. And then like whatever. And I figured this one has more secure, and then I'll figure it out. Okay, I like it. I'm liking reusing all this stuff because all this plastic is going to be destroying the planet anyway. At least giving it another reuse. I'm just using it, and I know the plants are not doing great, but planters are like plastic almost all of the time. So what's the point? So that milk jug out there that I'm thinking of, that's Brussels sprout, right? And they need something to let it grow strong. Like I need something tall. I'll figure something out. I was even thinking that little one. What do you think of that? And then I was thinking of using that one if I move all of those tomatoes, let them grow a little bit for that and that. Would that work? But does that mean I need something tall for the broccolis that are dying? Are the broccolis dead? Whoops. What about my cabbage? Is it dead? It's just growing. Did I give it enough soil? Okay. I just need to give it more water. Water. We're totally managing. That's not that bad. I don't like even seeing the chats, I'll be real. Uh So if I had shrooms from dye, those would be severe. More than they would from the smoke shops. The smoke shops wouldn't make me sick. I would not throw up from the smoke shop. But I would throw up with dyes stuff. Or would they both make me throw up? Oh, okay. So it's more of the dyes stuff will be strong. Maybe I ask her to give me shroom instead of edibles so that I can, but would they both make me throw up? Even if it was a tea? That true? Oh. Well, I'm not going to grow any shrooms because that looks complicated and I would rather do it with that actual farm. Don't have options for it. Okay, so if I'm thinking about that too, if I keep sometimes, a certain time of day, I think about a farm, I think about community, I think about all those good things, happy kids, happy families, good community. It helps add the vibes and the frequency for the world now. Is that true? Do I have a strong sense of, do I have well, it's subjective to even, how can I even think about being have a good energy when I literally grew up in a cult. Was that purpose for that? To already have grandiose, to efficiently make me my my hope and all that? Was that part of it? Supposed to be good? That true? It's like they kind of trained me to, it like opened my mind to thinking more about the future and bringing the future to present. Do you know what I mean? So that was part of it. Everything is a good thing to go and all that. But I feel it feels like very egotistical, but it's not really just about, I'm not feeling that egotistical for just me being good. It means the good of the colony. And we agree to that? Because I keep coming to the fairies all the time, and like I'm always talking, so it's not even feels like I'm a big head, because I'm always coming to the fairies. I like the fairies. They've got good answers. They helped me with giving up good plans for this and that, and they sometimes put something in my brain so that I can think about something that helps with just the garden, the job, the booze that I accidentally made because of the things they have planned. Why is it booze? Why is it booze? Is it booze because it's booze because I was thinking about doing the fucking the watering can? And also it's nice to have booze. So, which makes me think that you guys, I mean, there's such a thing as timeline and all of that, but honestly, how much is that is timeline and, quantum physics when it's kind of set? Is it kind of already like we know where things are going? Is that true? So, like, how much, because if we know that video games do not have, we would say video games, we don't have those other, like, there's not like a video character in a real life, a real universe. It's just what we write on this specific little simulation we're in now. I don't know how much quantum physics is like what it's like ideas. It's like ideas, but it's not, it's fun, but I don't feel that it's that, like, I don't know, the fairies are just like, they can already see the future and they plan things for me before I even come to my brain. And that was like, I guess that's only 5 days. That's only like 4 days. No, because they also told me about two sets of yeast, and that was weeks ago. That was like 2 weeks. So but how does that make any sense? Because if we know that there's no time, you guys don't even have time there. Time is a whole illusion that we have while we're here on Earth, which means how you can even see timelines when you see the whole time, the entire amount of the whole existence from the entire planet or planets. So it's more even like it's closer to interstellar than you would for things like butterfly effects or um, parallel universes. Because it's more like devs. If you guys, it's more like devs is kind of already set where it's supposed to be. Is that true? Or are you telling me what I want to hear? They're aligned. I'm more of like questioning things because I like the idea of quantum physics, but it just doesn't, it's not really working. Like, I'm not seeing that because the whole incarnation doesn't make sense to have multiple timelines of a single body. It would be just, you would just do that new type of thing in your next life. So you just alter it for the next body you get. Which is more like, okay, well, there's that. That's what I'm sitting with. I don't even, that's what so you guys kind of are already telling me, because you already see what I would be doing in this one, and then you guys tell me answers to figure out things like that. So you guys can tell when my little family gets back, I'm thinking I think they get home after 2. Do they get home after 2 p.m.? Is that true? Do you know the time? Do you know the time, the hour? Is it within 2 to 3 hour? Okay. So what time should I close? Do you know when I'm supposed to, or I just close it when they get home? So I could go as live as I want until they literally come home. That's good? And I don't have to shoot anymore because I already shot. I'm fixing this. Okay. And I don't even think anybody, oh, we still have people viewing it. Okay. That was, okay, I was having a hard time breathing last night. Is that just because of expectations of people? Is that true? Yeah, because I'm not even breathing as hard now that I already set a nose and I'm feeling a little bit better. Is the burnout because of multiple things? So I'm feeling like the burnout was also because of a shift of change. And that's why my sister and her friend were just then we're thinking about the time that you guys are aware of. So you kind of wheezed it in so that she knew when she was getting, and somehow it was on my timeline for a type of burnout because of a new shift of change of the world. Is that true? Why for her though? Because I needed to be burnt out? And I needed somebody there to drain me, as well as, why is that? Why do I have to have a burnout for this shift change? I've been burned out before. Is this burnout supposed to be is it for me to be able to cry more? Is it more of me protecting, like really dealing with paying attention to my body? And the shift has to be now. Or a good start. The timeline, the time of it is already set, ready to go. I needed to open up to the idea of listening to my body for burnout because I'm about to get the job that will burn me out. That true? But it doesn't feel though that it's still, so I have to learn how to do that for the garden, maintaining garden while also having a job. That's why it's there, because it's not, it had nothing, it confused me when you guys would say that the garden would be done. But it wasn't that garden is done, it's that garden is dealt with so that I'm aware of what I'm doing. Okay, now they said about putting cardboards. Do I want to just put cardboards out there now to deal with all of the weeds? Because I'm not, that sounds horrible, having to deal with all this weed. I don't even want to deal with that. The best I could do is just use cardboard. Do you know when my landlady will actually want to do the landscaping that she's thinking of? Do you guys know the month? Can you point me to the month, please? No way. Really? Is that September? Jesus, nothing gets done. Oh, that's okay. We want to get dealt with our mold before I even deal with any of that. Like, so if I put cardboards, I was thinking about the cardboard for the furniture, but now I'm not even feeling like that. Now I'm feeling like I just can just put the cardboard in the garden and past it too. So I could do it all of it so that I can maintain that. What about this other section? Do I have to do that too? That true? But it will look like a piece of trash. It will look like white trash. But do we care about that? It already looks white trash right now. And I don't care. Hey, you bitches are paying for ungodly amount of money for a grocery. So yeah, I don't feel bad about looking like white trash because guess what? I'm saving money at that point, wouldn't you say? Okay. So I'm thinking about learning about, I was considering, maybe not now, like learning about booby traps or learning about weapons and all of that. But that itself, thinking about that, could make it that I believe in a war that I don't want to be involved in. So I not even think about. I try and not think about weapons, booby traps. I try and think mostly on the good of the colony, a nice farm, nice people, maybe babies if we need to. Not literally babies. I mean like kids. Because now I'm thinking about that if I provide that option for people with free food, free daycare, free whatever, and even free housing for some people. And then I would be thinking about how do we feel about because I'm now thinking about trees, cutting up some trees. Do they know that I'm thinking about that already? Because they have the, hive mind. So they would be able to know that I would be thinking about using that. If anything, I can ignore thinking about weapon. I can just thinking about cool skills that I could have. Carpentry, um, engineer, plumbing, and then I even think about even having a doctor. Because then I would be starting thinking about a whole ass commune, which does mean that the government would try and deal with it. But I'm not even gonna, I don't know, I'm white. I'm white. I got privilege. They probably not even deal with that. Straight up on this iteration is I am white to straight up use the white privilege. So I can not even think about the weapons. I don't have to think about booby traps. I can just think about the good of the colony. This iteration is about using the white privilege. Get shit done. Get shit done. But also still appreciating just life as it is. Soft nihilism. Not just nihilism, soft nihilism. Appreciating life. I do have this feel of grandiose, but I can't even, I don't even feel like, it feels like I don't have this, the charisma is not the same. I don't have the same charisma as a cult leader. Am I? Does everyone, when a person has a certain amount of energy for change, but does that mean, well, in theory, every soul, what? Not every soul? No, wait. You got me confusing. Do we have multiple consciences? So, you have all of these consciousness, where they have a learning about their best self, the good, bad, ugly. And so, like, it would not make sense that there's only one consciousness who does, or like a certain set of consciousness, and they're the only ones who do cult. Are you saying that is the case? There's a hierarchy in space. Is that true? Well, I don't like that. Why would I? Well, I already know. Well, okay. How does that make any sense? Because that would mean that the way that things are for bloodlines of fairy umbrellas, dragon umbrellas, honestly, I only know that much for now, that ultimately, I'm so confused. Hold on. The consciousness that we have has a certain flair of who we are. So every single iteration, there will be a theme every time. So the theme of my, well, first of all, it's still a hierarchy. Is it though? Would we even say that if we're thinking about the consciousness of humans? it's not really, well, we always have this idea of leaders versus followers. But it's not really that, because I'm following people, but I also lead. So then it doesn't make sense. I'm lost. I can't even figure it out. There must be. I mean, like, let's think about the time when there's just the rich and the poor. Rich automatically means the leader, poor automatically means the follow. Which it means that at some point at multiple past lives, I should have been a full follower instead of being a leader. If that's the case, for having all of these experiences that everyone has, iterations of strictly leader, strictly follower, which means no, there is not a specific bloodline of only cult leaders. It feels like every single consciousness has been a leader in a past life, a only follower on the past life. But if my last life, I was rich, would mean that I would have had to be a version of a leader. So maybe you start with your past life of just a leader, and you figure out, oh, here's the rules on how you maintain that. Then you go into the next life and fix it. And I wouldn't be able to do that. I wouldn't be able to do that if I was always rich in this iteration, because I wouldn't give a shit on poor people unless I was poor myself. Okay. Huh. If I'm burnt out, it's harder for you guys as fairies to help me meditate. I'm burnt out, so I can barely see you guys. Is that true? That's why I couldn't see you guys very well, because I was burnt out. But that was cool. One of them I saw a lot of. Okay, so is the purpose that I'm learning burnout just so I can focus on meditation? Hard to say because there's multiples. So one of them, a factor, would be meditation. Be able to see things. Why do I get the sense that I would lose I don't know. I don't want to create it. I don't want to manifest me getting blind. It kind of feels like it sometimes, that it's like gonna happen at some point. But is it recent? What the fuck do you mean? Hold on. Am I manifesting it now? Well, I don't want to go blind. I do prefer my audio. I like hearing things better than I do seeing things. But I want to maintain this option of seeing things. It's cool. Do I want to? It's my best way to do it is just be more appreciative of things with my eyes. Then I should be able to switch the manifestation. Or, oh, but then you guys already said, well, hold on a second. Then we're back on to quantum physics because manifestation, oh, they already know I'm gonna be the way I'm supposed, what I always do. You already are aware of the things that I manifest. So you already know in this iteration, I will behave the way it's already there. You can see the futures on both of us. So it's already been, you can already see the future of whatever version of manifestation I do. Which means if I'm now saying that I would manifest so that I can keep my vision, means that you already see the future. Which means it's already decided, like devs. So I'm supposed to not even see at what point of future I lose my vision. I should ignore it. What do you mean? I still need to be appreciative of seeing things, yes. So that's already decided. You can see that in the future, that I feel grateful for my eyeballs. That true? So it's already decided. I already know what I'm doing. Does that mean that, well, I can even, the way you manifest affects your entire time, which would even mean a drunk driver, which would even mean a shark bite, even things like food poisoning. Which does feel quantum. It's not that, it's that there is quantum, but it has no time because it's already decided based on the way they perceive and behave. It is quantum. They just already see it all. They already know how I will behave, but at least they can tell me that I should be worried about it. Not worried as so much of the way that they mean literally appreciate it, otherwise it might be gone. But it doesn't feel like, well, I even already know that the way that I think that I had a brain surgery because of my own fear of the future, fear of society, fear of perception. So I made that a possibility based on my own body. I just want that to be the done though. Like that's the only time I do it. Now I know it already what it means. So ultimately I just now I just think so thinking on the future is good. Thinking on positive possibilities is how you get things done. And it's not that I am grandiose, it's just this iteration itself. But if it's my best, is this my, you can see the future. Is this my best iteration? Is that true? Is this my last best iteration? That's true? Okay, so this is me doing the best I can, even though I think that things can do better. But ultimately, is this my last life? On this one. Which means my consciousness can die. So the very last, I will die. Where does consciousness even go? If I already think about consciousness as plankton in the sea, in the space, it has a lifespan. And that's my last. That's interesting, because if I'm right on your bloodline for fairy, dragon, whatever, you start with 50-50. I'm off? I'm wrong? Is that correct? It's 50-50. You got 50 fairy, 50 human. Which means that, do you think a person who dies young, that could even be stillborn, maybe not, I don't know. It probably means just a quick iteration. Oh man, now I don't even know. If it's my last life, it's my last life, my last iteration. That's correct, right? Doesn't feel like it's my mom's last iteration. That doesn't feel complete. Does she have another life after this? Or multiple? So I'm the older soul than she is, quite literally. You know, time well, then hold on a second. If time is different, so you're suggesting that the time in space does exist. It is just external. So it doesn't have to, or it's just longer. It's just a very, very longer time. So my past lives were a lot of them. Which I even see people dying early, and if that's correct, that would mean that those lives still have a lot iterations. So Earth is not dead yet. We're gonna fix it this iteration now. Okay, I will. With people who know how to fix this shit. Am I wanting to know all about my iterations because it will help me have my absolute best, and it's my last, my last game? That true? So I want to remember all of these things and see on all of these flavors for as long as it goes. That does sound nice. Is it based on time and space, or is it based on you can kill yourself? It's both. It's both? Wait. If I even said that there's such a thing as a demon, they can literally die too, because if we already know there is a set of time in space, a demon is just like, I don't want to have any more iterations. I'll just let it drain me and just die anyway because they're unwilling to die. Like, they wouldn't kill themselves because they're still set on their own beliefs. Is that true? Well, if this is my best iteration, which doesn't feel like it right now, it feels with my ideas and my look for the positivity and the hope, feels that that would be my really best iteration. So even if I could have more iterations, I wouldn't want to have a better game. If I make this the best I could ever do, I probably would just, I don't even know if I'd be old per se, as just I did the best I could. And there ain't no better than this. So is there time and space, or okay, well, I guess we did decide based on that. So it's just the demons who die, and then, or humans who don't go for their best, which is basically only those, because everyone who completes all of their iterations to their absolute best, then it means they have completed the simulation completely, and then you just bonk out, because at that point it's like, can't do any better now, could I? I feel like Shelley didn't have she's only starting now, and it's too short of a time for all the good stuff going on. So I think she has at least one or two more iterations to do. She's done a great job, but I feel like she's missing out on certain type of things. And I don't even know that I can be sure of it unless I straight up hope strong as hell for the best that I could for this planet, and then I'm like, bonk, and then I clock out, and then, you know, consciousness is done. On this one, sure, maybe the theme of it is in another planet. Oh my god, now it makes me feel the Mormon beliefs of you go to another planet and all that, which is not, I mean, it's like kinda, not really. It's more of like, so computers? But we already know about aliens, and I can't even deal with that. That's way too much. It's too much to think about any of that. Oh. You know what? I'm done with that. How many people we got? I don't know. I've had people viewing because I'm got my tits out. It's not really tits out. Because my belly's out, and they're just like, whatever. I don't know. I'm cool with this being my best, which means I will let grow as many as I can, and that's why I need to learn for all of my iterations, as you know, your past lives, figuring it out. But it does mean you go to another simulation at some point. More lives. And if that's the case, my last one that have I always remembered? Is this the only past life? This is the only iteration that I have looked into my past lives. Is that true? Huh. Oh, but I'm sure there's people who, there's consciousness that could just, they do their best and they do it within 10 iterations. Is there such a thing as a consciousness who beats it within 10 iterations? That's true. There must be at least certain consciousness who can beat it within 10 iterations. And then they just complete it all the way. They're going to another one. But it doesn't feel that they would, that doesn't really do the alien stuff. Because it's like, what? Are we supposed to say that our consciousness are aliens? Like space, outside of space, from what we're aware of? I don't know. I'm not dealing with that. Because then I was thinking, let me get back to the garden. Because I can't deal with that. I'll think about it at some point. It's too cosmic. Which I do like to think about the cosmos. But it's like not making sense. I'd rather have shrooms at some point because it's too much right now. And I'm like not dealing with that. I'm thinking about using palms. Are these palms the same type that can have hearts of palms? Or I can eat it? And the type of, at a certain point, I could even cut these and those type of things. Well, not these ones specifically, but I mean this age. Could I be able to use those for like cat litter, chips for the garden? So I wouldn't actually need to cut these trees. I would just be choosing palm because it grows so fucking fast and lasts really fucking fast. It grows really easy. And I'd rather, I don't know, it feels too short of a life. You could really throw away with the early lives than I would for the very old trees. They have this wisdom that I don't really want to cut yet, you know? Probably. Okay. But why do I want... Oh, yeah. Is booze just to appreciate booze also? Another factor? Do I want to be... Am I going to be stressed that I need to be drunk when I start the job? But I won't be... It will be like within the first month. First month? And then if I'm in the second month, I'm okay. I'm okay? That true? Okay, I'm gonna daydream. I said for people, oh man, now I feel bad. Because I had this whole video saying the daydream in the future. It's not that it means you can daydream. It just means you have to do things now. So I do want to think on the future, but it means I'm building the skills now for when it's possible. So I guess it's not that bad. Which means I am daydreaming. It just means I'm doing shit. Okay. I'm like gaining my belly and my fat. Is that, is it because I'm eating more regularly and my body would be, it's because I'm on a way of weight loss? Is that true? Honestly, it looks nice to be fat. I like the way it looks, but I don't want to buy pants? Or am I gonna fluctuate more in my weight? And like, I want more options of pants. More pants. I'll do nothing but buying all of these nice colors. Which makes me want to go back to the thrift store, which I literally can't afford. I'll figure it out. Oh, the thrift store. Yeah, alright. I'll figure it out. I think I'm done. Figuring this all done. I might just want to be done. Did we get... And then I also want to afford 2 more tattoos. A tattoo like right here. Or do I want a tattoo here? Do I want a tattoo here? Do I want it a little lower? Right on the tip? For the Cosmo? To literally where my heart is? As if it matters. This one's gonna die anyway. That was my last iteration. Oh my god. So I also want to create a tattoo that I create to say last iteration. If I'm learning about code, they say index, which means there should be something for iteration, which means I probably want to say something silly about coding that just says last iteration. And I bet I'll figure something. I don't know it now, but maybe. I want the good of the colony. I want to appreciate nice, fun things. I want to make music. I want to draw things more, which I don't right now. I want to keep doing more crochet. I want to do more gardening. I want to have a big old farm. I want to go have, whatever I'm thinking about. It's not bad to daydream. It's just, it builds the possibility when you put it in hand. And then I can think about that with money too, because if I think about having money, if I have money, I can use it for good shit, because clearly if it's my last iteration, it's not everyone else's last iteration, which means there's always going to be a version of money, because, even the idea of abundance is still, for such a thing, even bartering is the exchange, whether it's cash or not. We share and all that type of stuff, so. Alright. Well, if it's my last iteration, I know if you had a cult that didn't really get you in the full understanding of the cosmos and of the witchy stuff, it means they have more iterations to go with. And usually they don't feel it out, or they don't figure it out until it's later on. So unless it's their last iteration, which I don't mind. And it's just in this body. But you can't even try on this. We're aliens and other space from the... I don't know. You'll figure it out. I'm not dealing with that. I have time off. And then once I have enough time, as probably a guide in space, then I'm like, okay, I'm done. I clock out. I'm sure it makes more sense when I'm not constrained to my human body. We're just very used in cycles, and there is no way to think of anything other than cycles. So, well, I'm done. I don't want to keep talking. My arm hurts. So, at this point, I'm gonna probably know about fairies. I might learn and figure out more stuff on if I keep appreciating the way I see things, then I can learn about different other stuff. And I still have the option of hearing things, which means they could even tell me what the fuck their type of bloodline they are, and then other iterations, somebody could be like, oh, we're the fairy umbrella, and then you can say, oh, nymph, gnome, pixie, fae, whatever. So they can probably do that to me if I'm getting all shroomed up. Dream work, whatever. I got more stuff to do, but that's like that. I'm not supposed to focus on now, but it feels not the way. How am I supposed to do that? I'll fix that for you. I'll be real. I don't know how I will maintain the energy with all that fucking job. Kind of feels like it's just there for money, and I wouldn't be able to maintain it. The best I can do is dissociate at work from whatever job I start, but I don't feel like it's going to start immediate for me to know about dream work and iterations, because I have 4 more months at a fucking job that I'm going to be dissociating and hating it. So, hating it at least at the beginning, even if it's still draining my energy spoons, so that's not going to work. But, alright. It's nice to think about it. I'm just gonna leave. They'll call me on Friday. If I have the job, I have the job. I'll use that money and all that type of stuff. At this point, I don't know. I hate the idea of going $13 an hour. I'd rather have sex work. Because then I could actually compensate for myself than I could at a piece of shit grocery. But I will be humble. I will take a job if they fucking hire me. Because they'll fire me anyway. That is fine. But you better not be getting all whatever. Don't be surprised that I don't get to all this stuff that I'm supposed to do. I can try and do the meditation, but it probably means I get fired earlier, because it means that if I meditate more than that, which means I'm more of a daydreamer, which means I'm not going to be as usually hard worker I would be, and it means that they would fire me earlier. But I like daydreaming. I'm liking the pendulum. I'm liking meditating, going to bed and seeing the fairies, and I don't know. It is what it is. Let's go get some money. For $13 an hour, which means it's like $11 an hour at home, and I just, oh my fucking God. Yeah, I made myself sad. I'm gonna say thank you very much. You gave me a lot of good answers, and I hope you appreciated the song, and I hope you didn't lie as much. I did ask for only 80%, and I got some good Cosmos stuff, and that was pretty cool. So thank you very much, and my arms hurt, so. Wow, it hurts. Kitty. Handsome kitty. Is what it is. Now I'm down to, oh, it's still better than I thought. Am I going to read that? No, I'm not. I'm not. I appreciate that people liked all this stuff. I'm just hoping for abundance in whatever form I get. I would rather not have the fucking Apple laptop, though, I'll be real. No, it would make myself sad to read all that chat, because they're fucking assholes, and I'm not gonna deal with that. I might give a video explaining online troll dealing with, but I'm not doing it today. I'm not reading the chat. I don't want to know what these pieces of shit are gonna be assholes to me. I don't really need that in my life right now. I'll get it when I have this stupid $11 an hour. I'm getting $0 here from all of this, so I don't give a fuck. Are you giving me love look? Why? Because You're the best cat ever. You're the best cat ever. I love that cat. I'm not reading that. I'm not reading a single thing. I have fun things I can deal with now. I'm hungry now? Boo. Nah, I'll just wait until dinner. Or have a popsicle. I gotta go have water though. I'm not low on water. I don't even want a job. I don't even want a job. It's gonna be so little money, and I'm not gonna be able to have as much time. Then I'm going to daydream. I'm going to meditate so I can think more about fairies and all of that. And I don't even give a shit if I'm a shitty employee. For $11 an hour, $13 an hour, and then $2 to fucking tax. At least I'll be able to remove my tax. But whatever. 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 Okay, I'm done. More or less. Putting this away. Oh my god, my phone is having an issue. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Even looking at these comments for 1 second, I can't deal with that.